The heavy drapes were torn aside, flooding the penthouse apartment with the harsh morning sun. From the king-sized bed, a figure burrowed deeper under the duvet, a low groan of displeasure escaping. Liam didn't need to prompt him. A muffled voice from beneath the sheets pleaded for just 5 more minutes. A flicker of something cold and sharp moved through Liam, though his expression remained perfectly neutral. He pulled out his phone, navigating to a playlist reserved for such occasions. The opening chords of a painfully upbeat pop anthem, the kind designed for mass consumption and TikTok dances, blared from the phone's speakers. The lump under the covers thrashed. A command, thick with irritation, was issued to turn it off. The voice then tried to bargain, questioning why Liam couldn't grant him a small measure of trust about the 5-minute promise. Liam ignored it, his hand tightening on the edge of the duvet. He gave it a firm tug, then another. The resistance was formidable. He stated calmly that Chairman Crosswell would be attending the morning meeting. He then posed a question. Was Ethan certain he wanted to continue the charade? The voice from the bed was noticeably clearer now, though a last-ditch effort at evasion was made. Ethan suggested Liam call in sick for him, proposing a severe illness that rendered him bedridden. It was a flimsy excuse, one Liam wouldn't even dignify with a response. He simply crossed his arms, his silence a definitive refusal. With a final, frustrated sigh, Ethan shot upright, his hands immediately tangling in his already chaotic hair, making it worse. Mission accomplished, Liam turned and went to the kitchen. Ethan Crosswell, his employer, the supposed protagonist of this narrative Liam had somehow found himself in. After his own life had ended abruptly from overwork, Liam had awakened here, as the stoic male assistant to a CEO. But this leading man wasn't just attached. He was chronically averse to waking up, his only redeeming quality being his handsome face. Liam's days were a blur of managing Ethan's professional and personal lives, a 24-hour cycle more exhausting than his previous existence. The only thing that stopped him from quitting was the grim reality of his bank balance, reset to near zero in this new world. According to the story he remembered, this was a sweet, conflict-free romance. In a month, Ethan was supposed to meet the story's other main character. Sparks would fly, a passionate affair would begin, and eventually, love would blossom. Liam's role in this grand romance was minimal, relegated to the background task of late-night condom deliveries. Lost in these thoughts, his hand faltered as he poured the coffee. A sharp voice from behind warned him that the French press was about to overflow, pulling him back to the present. Ethan, toweling his hair dry, sat at the breakfast bar, his silk robe hanging wide open. Liam caught a glimpse and quickly averted his eyes. In this life, as in his last, his preferences were clear, and staring too long felt like a direct route to a workplace harassment lawsuit. He checked his watch. There was still time. He informed Ethan that he would wait in the living room, and received a dismissive wave in return as Ethan began to eat. Half an hour passed, exactly as Liam had anticipated. Without constant pressure, Ethan's sense of time was fluid and expansive. Just as Liam stood to clear the table, his phone buzzed. It was his ex, Sean. The man he was before this life had been pathetically devoted to Sean, treating him less like a partner and more like a child he was responsible for. Liam had inherited not only the empty bank account Sean had drained, but also the man himself. A lazy voice drawled from the other end of the line, asking what he was doing. Liam could picture him perfectly, sprawled out in bed. He glanced toward the dining area, not bothering to lower his voice as he asked what Sean wanted. Sean mumbled something, asking if Liam was still upset with him. He then explained that he had a last-minute gig and couldn't find the suit he needed, wondering where Liam had put it. A surge of irritation rose in Liam, but he kept his voice low and tight. He reminded Sean that he was not his mother, that they were broken up, and that he had 3 days to move his things out. He finished by telling him to stop calling. A voice from behind asked if that had been his girlfriend. Liam turned to see Ethan standing there, fully dressed. Liam raised an eyebrow, surprised that the entire getting ready process had only taken an extra 10 minutes. It was a new record. He felt an absurd urge to applaud. Ethan must have noticed his strange expression because he took a half step back, his gaze questioning. He then rephrased his question, asking if it was a boyfriend. Then, Liam sighed, not denying it. Announcing his orientation to his future one boss felt strangely deliberate. He wondered aloud if all employers were so invested in their employees' personal lives. Ethan's expression shifted, and he moved closer. He asked again, with more intensity this time, if it was really a boyfriend. Liam instinctively put a hand up, creating a professional distance between them. Pressed for an answer, he finally confirmed that yes, it was. The entire drive to the office, Ethan was uncharacteristically quiet, casting sideways glances at Liam as if he wanted to say something. Liam, maintaining his professional decorum, finally asked if there was something Mr. Crosswell needed. Ethan, leaning back in his seat, said there wasn't. The unspoken words hung in the air, and Liam turned back to the road, clenching his jaw. He just wished the man would be direct. Noticing Liam's subtle frustration, Ethan feigned interest in the cityscape outside the window. He eventually murmured that Liam should be careful about who he associates with, as it could reflect poorly on the Crosswell Corporation. Liam offered a tight, polite smile and confirmed he understood. Even with that, as they arrived, the ingrained habits of his job took over. He rushed out to open Ethan's door, his hand protectively hovering over the doorframe. He inwardly cursed his own subservience. Chairman Crosswell was already in the boardroom. He immediately began to lecture his son, asking when he would ever get enough sleep and pointing out his abysmal tardiness record for the month. Liam stood by, not daring to breathe. When Ethan shot him a desperate, pleading look, Liam took a deep breath and began to say that the younger Mr. Crosswell's work itself was excellent, but he was cut off by the chairman. The older man dismissed his attempt, stating he wasn't a fool and knew perfectly well who did the majority of Ethan's work. Later that evening, at a business dinner, things had loosened up after a few rounds of drinks. An old high school classmate, Mark, was clearly intoxicated. He slung an arm around Liam's shoulders, his words slurring as he offered Liam a job at his company, promising he wouldn't be exploited the way he was now. The so-called exploitative boss was sitting right next to Liam, his eyes fixed on them with a dark intensity. Before Liam could push Mark away, Ethan had already reached over, peeled the man off him, and unceremoniously shoved him aside. Ethan then leaned in close, his voice a low whisper in Liam's ear, asking if he truly felt exploited. Liam's gaze darted around the room, anywhere but at Ethan's face. He denied it, of course, though his mind screamed that it was the absolute truth. Ethan then offered him a raise. At the mention of more money, Liam's feigned composure vanished. He turned to Ethan, his eyes bright with surprise. Ethan chuckled, calling him a little money grabber. The insult barely registered. Ethan mused that after 5 years with the company, Liam shouldn't be so desperate for cash. A pang of bitterness went through Liam. If the man he used to be hadn't been so foolish as to give his entire salary to Sean, he wouldn't be. He just laughed it off, remarking that no one ever complained about having too much money. After the dinner concluded, Ethan suggested they get a late-night bite to eat. Liam agreed, stubbing out his cigarette. They were both a little buzzed, and the diner was a short walk away. As they walked, a sleek sports car pulled up to the curb ahead. A person with vibrant pink hair got out, followed by a tall, handsome man. They were wrapped around each other, laughing. As they drew closer, Liam's steps faltered. The man was Sean. His first instinct was to grab Ethan and retreat, to avoid the humiliating public spectacle of seeing his ex with someone else. But it was too late. Sean spotted him, his smile freezing on his face. The atmosphere grew tense. Sean murmured something to his companion, telling them to go on ahead while he spoke with a friend. Once the other person was gone, Sean approached, telling Liam not to get the wrong idea. They were just friends. Liam's face was a mask of indifference, though inside he wished the ground would swallow him whole. Beside him, Ethan watched the unfolding drama with an unnerving level of amusement. Liam fixed his gaze on Sean and stated, enunciating each word, that they were already broken up and what he did was none of his concern. Sean looked genuinely hurt, admitting he thought Liam was just waiting for him to come back and apologize. A dam of frustration broke inside Liam. He yelled at Sean to grow up and leave him alone. Having finally voiced his anger, he felt a sense of release. He grabbed Ethan's arm to leave, but Sean lunged forward, catching his wrist and calling him babe. At that word, Ethan's expression soured dramatically. Sean, noticing this, shot a possessive look at Ethan, questioning why Liam was out so late with his boss. Liam wrenched his hand away, stating coldly that it was work. Sean scoffed, retorting that this didn't look like work. Liam, pushed to his limit, laughed humorlessly. He shot back that at least he wasn't sleeping with his boss for money. Sean, flustered and exposed, sputtered denials. Liam pressed his advantage, telling Sean not to pretend he didn't know about all his side dealings. He declared that not only were they finished, but he wanted every single dollar he had ever given him back. With that, he grabbed Ethan and walked away, not looking back. They walked for several blocks in silence before Liam's adrenaline wore off. He realized he was still clutching Ethan's arm and hastily let go. He turned, missing the flicker of disappointment in Ethan's eyes. After a long moment, Ethan's voice was quiet when he asked if Liam had really given all his money to that man. Liam sighed and gave a reluctant nod. Ethan's voice grew urgent as he asked how he could be so foolish. As Ethan stepped closer, his handsome face filling Liam's vision, Liam felt a profound sense of exhaustion with his own ridiculous life. Ethan told him he didn't have to say anything else. He suggested they get a real drink to celebrate his newfound freedom. The cocktail lounge was packed, the low light casting long shadows. They found 2 seats at the bar. Ethan ordered them both cocktails, promising to match him drink for drink, a toast to new beginnings. After the first round, Liam's head was already fuzzy. He pulled out a pack of cigarettes, and Ethan smoothly took one for himself before lighting it and handing the lighter back. Ethan started to say something, then stopped, a familiar pattern of his. Liam was used to it. The bar lighting was brighter than the booths, casting Ethan's features in a soft, ethereal glow that erased his usual immaturity, replacing it with a kind of melancholy appeal that made Liam's face feel warm. The bartender set 2 new drinks in front of them. Liam seized one and downed it in a single motion, then pushed the empty glass back, asking for another. Ethan watched him, a complicated expression on his face, and told him to slow down. Liam didn't answer, his eyes fixed on the polished surface of the bar as his mind drifted. From college graduate to corporate drone, he had worked so hard, saved so much, only to lose it all and have to start over from scratch, dealing with an ex he never chose and a boss who was a perpetual child. A wave of suffocation washed over him. He asked the bartender for a pen and paper. Ethan watched, intrigued, as Liam scribbled 2 words on the napkin. "I quit." He slid it across the bar to Ethan. Ethan's face went through a series of emotions before settling on a dark, angry scowl. He demanded to know why. Bolstered by alcohol, Liam let loose. He ranted about all the work Ethan pushed onto him, the 24/7 on-call demands, the sheer indignity of it all. He was done. Ethan shot up from his stool, his hand clamping around Liam's wrist. He refused. He offered to reduce his workload, to give him another raise, anything but resignation. In his agitation, he pulled Liam into a fierce embrace. Liam struggled, confused by the sudden physical contact, calling him a parasite. He was about to add something about Ethan's sleeping habits when Ethan's voice, low and persuasive, cut him off. He reminded Liam that he liked money, and he could give him all the money he wanted, if only he would be his. Before he could finish, Liam shoved him away with all his might. Ethan stumbled back against the bar. Liam slumped back onto his stool, head in his hands, mumbling that he wouldn't be broke if it weren't for Sean. Ethan, trying to piece together the fragmented story, understood only one thing. His assistant was not only deeply entangled with that man, but had also given him all his money. His expression hardened. He lifted Liam, slinging him over his shoulder, and strode out of the bar, ignoring the stares of the other patrons. The cool night air began to clear Liam's head. He started to struggle, telling Ethan to put him down. Ethan complied, setting him on his feet but keeping a steadying hand on him. The world tilted, the steps in front of Liam doubling. He misjudged, his foot finding only air. As he fell forward, Ethan's arm shot out, wrapping around his waist to steady him. Liam's back collided with Ethan's chest. Defeated, he stopped fighting. Since neither of them was in any condition to drive, Ethan hailed a cab and sent Liam home. In the hallway of his apartment building, the motion-activated lights flickered on and off as Ethan made his final plea. He offered another raise, a week of paid vacation, promising to forget the night's events. As Liam fumbled with his keys and finally opened the door, he leaned against the frame, looking at Ethan's perfectly sculpted face. He asked if there was anything else. Ethan seemed lost for a moment, just staring at him. He said there wasn't. But as Liam began to close the door, Ethan's hand shot out to stop it. He asked, his voice hesitant, if he could maybe stay the night. The implication was unmistakable. Even in his intoxicated state, Liam understood. He felt Ethan's gaze on him, intense and hot. His own eyes drifted down, and he let out a slow, deliberate breath. With a small, knowing smile, he stepped aside and let him in. The moment the door clicked shut, Ethan's mouth was on his, pressing him against the wall in a kiss that was both desperate and consuming. The feeling was electric. As clothes were shed and the kiss deepened, they stumbled towards the bedroom. He ended up on the bed, with Ethan over him, a night of tangled limbs and breathless requests that blurred into a hazy, satisfying oblivion. He vaguely remembered Ethan whispering something self-satisfied in his ear about dying in his bed, a remark he was too tired to comprehend. The next morning, the combined effects of a hangover and a night of strenuous activity made his head pound. Fragments of memory slowly returned. He became aware of a heavy arm draped possessively over his waist. He turned his head and saw Ethan, sleeping soundly beside him. A quick glance under the covers confirmed they were both naked. His last clear memory was of Ethan on top of him. How the night ended was a complete blank. A dull, aching soreness low in his body was a constant, physical reminder of everything that had happened. His movements woke Ethan, who grumbled and tried to pull him back into the blankets, burying his face in Liam's neck and murmuring for just 5 more minutes. The phrase, once merely annoying, now ignited a flash of pure rage. Liam took a deep breath and shoved the man off him, the motion sending a fresh wave of pain through his body. Cursing under his breath, he stalked into the bathroom. The reflection in the mirror showed a canvas of marks and bruises, his chest a tapestry of dark kisses. He finally lost his composure, marched back to the bed, and ripped the covers off Ethan completely. Ethan sat up, blinking dazedly. When he recognized Liam, the sleepy haze in his eyes cleared. He asked if 5 minutes had passed already. He then tried to lie back down. Liam's patience snapped. He demanded to know if sleeping was the only thing Ethan knew how to do. Ethan simply opened his arms and pulled Liam into an embrace, easily flipping him over on the bed. Trapped, Liam heard Ethan's infuriatingly smug voice from behind him. "I also know how to do you." Just as he was about to relax into the embrace, a chilling thought struck him. Ethan was the protagonist. He had a destined partner. By doing this, Liam had derailed the entire plot. He broke out in a cold sweat, pushing Ethan away and scrambling off the bed. He pulled on a robe, his hands fumbling with the tie. He began shoving a confused but compliant Ethan towards the door, desperate for some kind of psychological reset, even if he knew it was futile. Ethan protested, asking if he was just being used and thrown away. He suggested they should be having a lazy morning in bed together. As Liam pushed him into the hallway, the front door was unlocked from the outside and swung open. Standing in the doorway, his face a mask of fury, was Sean. Ethan's large frame had blocked Liam's view, so the appearance was a complete surprise. The door slammed shut behind Sean, trapping the 3 of them in a horribly awkward tableau. Ethan turned to Liam with a triumphant smirk. Sean, looking like a man betrayed, tried to pull Liam away, but Ethan blocked him. Sean accused Liam of cheating on him with his boss. Liam, fed up, cut him off. First, he reminded him that they were broken up, so his sleeping arrangements were his own business. Second, he demanded Sean get out of his apartment so as not to cause a misunderstanding with his boyfriend. The so-called boyfriend immediately puffed up with pride, wrapping an arm around Liam's waist. He asked Sean if he needed money for a new place. The barb hit its mark. Seething, Sean grabbed his bags from the entryway and stormed out, vowing that Liam would come crawling back to him. Once he was gone, Ethan immediately tried to pull Liam onto the sofa, murmuring that he would take responsibility. Liam just laughed, a harsh, humorless sound. Ethan's playful demeanor vanished. He sat up, his expression serious, asking what Liam meant. Liam pushed him away, tightening his robe. He stated that he would be submitting his official resignation. His heart felt like a stone in his chest. He told Ethan that he would one day meet the person he was truly meant to be with, and that their night together was just a result of hormones and bad decisions. He had simply needed an outlet, and Ethan happened to be there. Ethan stood up, his face pale with anger. He spat out a curse, telling Liam to stop making excuses. His voice cracked as he said that he thought Liam had felt something too. Otherwise, why would he have let him stay? Liam looked at him, his own expression cold and distant, and said that they were both adults. Some things didn't need to be spelled out. The raw hurt in Ethan's eyes was almost enough to make him break, but he held firm. Just as he'd predicted, his online resignation was rejected. The head of HR called him personally, explaining that Chairman Crosswell had authorized her to negotiate a new salary package. Liam's blood ran cold. He asked if the chairman knew, and her silence was confirmation enough. He told her firmly that his professional relationship with Ethan was no longer tenable. On the third day of his forced leave, he ran into the chairman's own assistant while on a cigarette run. A short time later, he found himself in a private room, sitting opposite Chairman Crosswell himself. The older man said nothing for a long time, his hand trembling slightly as he smoked. He finally spoke, his voice low, saying that he hadn't placed Liam by Ethan's side for this. Liam kept his head down, mumbling that it was an accident and vowing to never appear in Ethan's life again. The door to the room opened, and Ethan walked in. He looked as polished as ever, a stark contrast to Liam's own disheveled state. Ethan walked straight to his father, deliberately avoiding Liam's gaze, though his eyes kept flickering in his direction. The chairman told Ethan to go home. Then, with a sudden burst of frustration, he slapped the back of his son's head. He called him a spineless fool, pointing out that Liam clearly didn't care about him. Yet here he was, chasing after him. Ethan mumbled a denial, claiming he didn't care either. The chairman scoffed. He asked who, then, had come home crying 3 nights ago, refusing to eat, who had sobbed to his mother asking why. Ethan's face flushed a deep red as he begged his father to stop. The pieces began to shift in Liam's mind. This wasn't the reaction of a homophobic father. The chairman then delivered the final blow. How could he have a son who had a crush on someone for over a year, only to get rejected before he even confessed? He called Ethan a disappointment. Liam stared, his mind reeling. The chairman then looked directly at Liam, his gaze profound, and mentioned that their neighbor, Dylan, had already brought his partner home to meet the family. Dylan, the name of the other protagonist from the story. Liam couldn't help but ask if he meant the Dylan who grew up with Ethan. Ethan's head snapped towards him, his eyes filled with a new, panicked theory. He demanded to know if Liam knew him, if he liked him, if that was the only reason he'd gotten close to him. Before the chairman could call his son an idiot again, Liam spoke, his voice steady. He looked at Ethan and said he thought there had been a misunderstanding. They needed to talk alone. He pulled a willing but confused Ethan out of the room. As they left, he heard the chairman let out a long, weary sigh of relief. The moment they were in the car, a mechanical ding sounded in Liam's head. A synthetic voice announced itself as System 888. It informed him that it was loading the plot. A moment later, it exclaimed with surprise that Liam was the most naturally gifted host it had ever encountered, having reached a 90% progress rate on his own. Liam whispered, "What 90%?" which only startled Ethan. The system clarified his progress in capturing the male lead, Ethan Crosswell. Liam's mind short-circuited. He asked if Ethan wasn't the protagonist, then what about the other main character? The system replied apologetically, explaining that there had been an energy instability during his transfer, and the novel he'd been sent into was actually a fanfiction based on the original. Ethan was just the protagonist's best friend, a side character with no official romantic partner. The system had sent Liam to give him a happy ending. Before Liam could process this, the system bid him a hasty farewell and went offline. He turned from his internal chaos to the real man beside him, whose face was etched with worry. He thought of all the times he had ruthlessly stamped out the budding feelings he had for Ethan, all because of a mistaken belief in a story that wasn't even real. He pulled Ethan into his arms. Ethan's own arms immediately wrapped around his waist. He whispered Liam's name, then, more boldly, "Honey." When Liam didn't object, he grew more confident. He said that Liam did like him. He knew it, that his response the other night couldn't have been faked. Liam simply hummed in agreement, letting the big, excitable man in his arms nuzzle against him, enjoying the long-delayed warmth. After a moment, He pulled back slightly and pressed a soft kiss to Ethan's lips. He promised that there would be no more misunderstandings, that they would just be together. Ethan, surprisingly easy to soothe, immediately brightened. He pulled out his phone, a wide grin spreading across his face. "Hey Dad," he said into the receiver. "I'm getting married. You don't have to worry about falling behind Dylan's dad anymore. We're getting the license next month."